Today we're gonna bring some heat into the Holiday Cup with Earthquake Ho-Oh here. Shadow Ho going to be able to destroy a lot of Pokemon. Basically, every time you're going to be able to come up against the Pokemon, you have energy and like a shield advantage, you're always going to be able to one-shot something here. The Frostle is going to be the lead against us here. We have our Talonflame as a safe swap to get out the Pokemon that you don't really want to face with the Ho-Oh. Actually, I thought of also using Ho as a safe swap because it gives you guaranteed shield advantage, other than if you face a Lantern, and Lantern in the back is most likely the most annoying Pokemon for this team. But here, for example, we are facing off against a Ludicolo, which has Razor Leaf, which is interesting, as we can go for one Flame Charge, and I hope they shield, and they do shield, because this will still knock them out through the shield. We can farm down the Frostless, and now we are going to be able to win the first game purely based on our Talonflame alone. Next opponent, we're going to see a horrible lead and a horrible safe swap for us. Yeah, like Altaria against us is not really ideal as a safe swap because, yeah, true, the Brave Bird's still gonna do some damage, but you have no chance of winning back this matchup here. You will be able to go for one Brave Bird, gonna do some nice damage, but you now can farm him down with the Bummer Snow. But still, this is a less than ideal, as we will see here that they can go back into their Obstagoon here. I'm gonna go for the Energy Ball, trying to get some damage on them, because then I can farm them down with Incinerate alone. We will see here that they're going to go ahead and go for one charge move as well, as this cross chop gonna do a ton of damage. I swap into my Ho-Oh, now I can farm them all the way down. Actually going to shield up this move, which I don't need to do really, but let's see what they have in the back. I guess it was better because they have a Trevenant in the back. There's no real need for me to go for a charge move here now, so let's see what we can do. We're going to be able to just farm them all the way down, as this Seed Bomb is still not going to knock us out because it's double resisted, and the opponent can knock me out here, but I still have enough health on my Bomber Stone to survive on counter and win the game. One issue for this team though is Dunsparce. Dunsparce can be a little bit tricky. Like in general, rock type Pokemon can be a little bit tricky for this team here, as Dunsparce is having access to the move Rock Slide. But the biggest issue about Dunsparce is not actually Dunsparce. The biggest issue is that a ton of content creator made like teams around Dunsparce, and they all had a one Pokemon in the back that I really don't want to face. And this, of course, going to be the Pokemon Lantern. So I had sometimes some issues with this team, and basically it's an insta loss when you face a Dunsparce on the lead and they're going to have a Lantern in the back. Unless you're going to be able to hit the Earthquake here, there's nothing that you can do here. So in general, this didn't happen too often. I think I faced this team 3 times and it was an instant loss, but I played this team for 4 sets and I actually went pretty positive with it, which is interesting because it was more like a fun team. But yeah, this is of course always a little bit tricky. We see the next opponent having a Double coming in here against us. That's kind of fine. We actually got a ton of energy here for free. I will be able to take this Body Slam. I can go for my Brave Bird now, and I'm hopefully going to be able to knock out this thing or like get them very low. They're going to no shield, allowing me to farm them all the way down now. And I can realign my Pokemon, which is going to be very interesting because now they have to go into the Vigoroth. They kind of want to shield this move up, I would say, because Brave Bird going to nearly knock them out again. They know that they can have Brave Bird, and you see how much Talonflame can do. If they don't have a Lantern in the back, Talonflame just goes to town. My Bomber Snow has basically 0 value now at this point of time, because all the Pokemon that my opponent has here, they are kind of weak to my Ho in the back, but not really weak to my Bomber Snow. So I will be able to get some damage on to this Frostless, actually knock them out. And I can now go into my Ho-Oh, hopefully going to be able to get to another charge move here with my Brave Bird coming through after this move here. They did throw the worst possible timing for them. Body Slam coming through, and I can go for my Brave Bird, knocking them straight out here and just nuking them away. I still would have survived a Body Slam anyway, so I didn't even need the shield here. But that was definitely very nice for me. We see a very decent matchup here. I think I misplayed this. I actually gonna go for one extra move here just so I don't get like the Pokemon swapping into me, and I'm still going to get the Pokemon swapping into me at the wrong timing, which is really funny. But yeah, this was kind of horrible for me. We see the Walrein coming through. We will go for one Flame Charge here, trying to either get them low or like knock them out already. As we see here, we're gonna get them low, and I can shield this move up, and I hopefully farm them down, getting my shield back later on then with Brave Bird, but I had to realign my Pokemon anyway. We see a Lantern coming in. That's horrible for me. Can go for one Brave Bird here. Maybe I should have actually went for the Flame Charge instead, but we're going to get the shield here, and I don't get to another move, so I definitely should have went for the Flame Charge instead. I still have my Bomber Snow, which is nice, but this looks kind of horrible here. We see the Surf coming through, and we're going to see another move coming through here as well. going to be the Surf again. I can go for one charge move against the opponent's Trevenant here, but I think they're going to shield this move up, and they do. I have to now rely on my Ho-Oh, and yeah, that's going to be a tricky one. I'm going to shield up this move. Hopefully it's a Shadow Ball. It is a Shadow Ball, and I can farm them all the way down. Can we get to the Earthquake in time? We can, and this will definitely one-shot the opponent. This is the main reason why you want to run Earthquake here. And boom, the Lantern is gone. We can go straight into the next one, and we see a Lantern in the lead. This is what we want to see, because we're going to be able to destroy that thing, but we're also going to see a Sableye coming in here right now. Actually, I regret going straight into my Talonflame here, because this can be a little bit dicey. If they went for like a return or something there already, I would have been a little bit in a difficult time there, but I can go straight for a Flame Charge. They're going to no shield, which is okay for me, as I can now farm them down. And this allows me to realign, which is the most important thing here anyway. It doesn't really matter how I realign, as long as I realign. And I can still go for one Brave Bird here, which will do a ton of damage, even though it's resisted, because it's still +1. And we see a Frost is coming in. I now can go into my Ho-Oh, and hopefully I still have a chance here, but my opponent got some extra energy, which can be a little bit of a trickier one now, as I'm gonna go for a move that I shouldn't have went for. I don't know why I did this. This is actually crucial that I did this, because now, like crucial in a negative way, because now my opponent will be able to farm, like get to the next move in time, and I have no chance of farming them all the way down in time. I can go for another charge move here, but they're still gonna get to one Avalanche, and I think this game is over at this point, sadly. If I just didn't go for the charge move, I think I could have been fine, but like this, sadly my opponent will be able to win this game, because I screwed up by throwing a charge move. Next opponent, we see an Altaria against us here, which is good for us, of course. I was very slow on the swap out, which is annoying, because now I think I might lose this matchup. But I cannot allow myself to lose this matchup, so I'm gonna go for an Avalanche here, or for a Flame Charge here, and I will get the shield from the opponent. They know that they're gonna get another shield from me, but I don't think that they're gonna get another move afterwards. So at this point, I should be able to get a ton of energy here. Can go for another fast move, can go for one Brave Bird, and I should be able to even get to another move maybe, but actually I should have went again for a Flame Charge instead first, because I won't be able to get to another move. Never mind. Brave Bird is coming through. Brave Bird is going to knock out the opponent, as we see a Vigoroth coming in. We can now go into a Ho-Oh, but what we're actually going to do here is we can take one charge move. I'm not going to throw my charge move immediately, because this would waste some turns for the opponent. I'm going to swap out here, and I can go straight for the Energy Ball, and now the opponent lost already. They have to shield something, and they're not going to shield the Energy Ball, hoping it was a Weather Ball, and we will be able to win this game now. Next opponent, we see Bombasnow against Victreebel. By the way, you see how fast those battles were. Like, I think there were next to no battle that was longer than 2 minutes, which is crazy. It's actually kind of cool for videos as well, because you're just gonna get fast-paced battles now, which is really nice. We will see here the opponent going for one Avalanche again. We're gonna get the shield again. We know the matchup. We're gonna go one shield down here, but we're going to end up having a ton of energy advantage here as well, which is nice. And we're going to have a boosted attack. And we can realign, and my opponent decides to already surrender. Here I make a huge mistake. This was the worst game possible. You might think, okay, why does he swap out there? I don't know why, but I thought like, okay, my opponent gonna swap out anyway, because like there are 4 times weak against my Bombasnow there, and I just over-predicted. I didn't want to give the opponent extra like fast moves from whatever they want to swap in, so I can realign. But I didn't know that they were double weak to our Bombasnow here, which was really awkward, because now I'm in such a bad spot. If I just stayed in there, I would have easily knocked out the Gliscor already. And like this, I am really forced to go for the Energy Ball here, but I made such a huge mistake by doing that play, as my Ho-Oh won't have a great time against them either. I can go for another Energy Ball here, gonna get a shield advantage, and I can swap out now, but it's not good for me either now, as I will be able to go ahead and shield up the move, but we're still going to have to face against the Gliscor, which is coming in now. I have to let one move go through, and I'm gonna do them now. And at this point, I think there's nothing I can do anymore. I can go for one Brave Bird. They got the attack boost anyway. Like, this game is over, sadly, at this point of time, because of this attack boost as well. But I misplayed this so hard. Like, if I just stayed in there, I just overthought my place there. If I just stayed in, I would have been fine. Next opponent, another Victreebel. I saw a lot of Victreebel users here again. I do the same thing because I expected my opponent to swap out. Even if it didn't happen, I still would be fine, because all my Pokemon on this team will be insanely strong against Victreebel. There's nothing that they can do about it. And so I will go for one Flame Charge here. Gonna get the shield from the opponent. I can go for another Flame Charge as well. And I should be able to always realign my Pokemon here, as I can go for the Flame Charge, which gonna do a ton of damage. They're still gonna get to another move, I think, afterwards, but yeah, they're going to shield up anyway. I still will be able to realign if I want to, but I don't want to, because and now we're going to see the beauty of Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh can just farm them down. Gonna get like a shield, like of course here against the Body Slam, but it's fine. And now we have a Brave Bird stored. In comes the Victory Bell. Fine for me. In comes an Earthquake. Let's see, this is going to easily knock them out anyway. I cannot try to undercharge, which was definitely not successful. In comes the Auroras, and out goes the Auroras as well, because Earthquake will do a ton of damage, knocking them straight out here. And we will be able to win this game. Auroras is usually a big threat for this team, but like this, it was pretty fine. We see a Frostus in the lead, we can swap out immediately, as they can catch the move on the Lantern, which is horrible for me. But at least I gotta get this Pokemon out of the way, but the opponent has a ton of energy still now on the Frostless. I mean, this is kind of hardwall, like there's not a lot that I can do here about this. Stuff like this happens, that you get hardwalled with this team, but still should be fine. We see the Lantern coming in here. We're going to steer Thunderbolt again here, and we will be able to go ahead and go for one Energy Ball. By the way, if I sound a little bit different here, I'm feeling a little bit sick after Christmas, so that's most likely why. We will see the Weather Ball coming through. We're going to get the shield from the double, which is interesting, as we can go into our Ho-Oh. We're going to hope that they don't have the Wild Charge here. And we can see that's only a Body Slam, which is still gonna do more than half of our health. But we actually get the extra fast move through, which is important. Body Slam coming through again, we're going to shield up and we can go for our Brave Bird here. This Brave Bird will do enough damage to knock them out, but of course I'm going to shield it up, and I can go for a shield myself, I think. And I can knock them out straight away with one more Brave Bird, but it actually goes to the Frostus, which I'm fine with, because Frostus had at this point of time already a move stored. So I will be able to knock them out now with one Weather Ball, and I will be able to win this game. But if they didn't swap into the Frostus, I think I would have lost this, but because they made this interesting swap at least, I was able to win this game. Next up, we're going to see a Dedenne in the lead. Pretty decent lead, but also not the best. We will see the Ninetales coming in here now, which is pretty nice for me, but they're still going to get to move in time because I was very slow on the swap. Going to get some extra energy here real quick, and I can go for one Flame Charge now. I can go for one Flame Charge now against the opponent's Dedenne as well, as this is most likely going to come back in here. We can do some damage already against it, which is nice, and we're going to boost our attack even more, making Incinerate an even stronger move, as we can farm them down and see the Bulbasaur coming back in here. We're going to shield up the potential Play Rough. It is a Play Rough, and they're going to swap out into their Talonflame. And I was making a little bit of a mistake here, I thought at least, because I'm going to stay in here because I need to get them low or get the shield from them. I can still get to another Weather Ball, which is fine, and I can swap out now into my Ho-Oh. I have to predict that they're not going to go straight for the Brave Bird here, so I'm going to let this move go through. It's going to be a Flame Charge, which wins me the game now, because at this point of time, I can just farm them all the way down, no matter what they're going to do. They're going to go for another Flame Charge here. I farm them all the way down, I have 100 energy, and I have an Earthquake for a Dedenne that comes in here right now, so goodbye Dedenne. This is going to knock you straight out. It's going to take a while until it goes through. I think the opponent just force closed the app or something, and we will be able to win this game. I don't know how this background changed like this. It looks really creepy, to be fair, but we see a very nice lead, and we have a very nice save swap for us as well, with the Ferrothorn coming in into our predict that they're going to swap out. Like, we also saw it out instantaneously again, which allows us to get to the move in time at the same time as the Ferrothorn, which is actually kind of huge. I did a lot of predicts with this team where I just swapped out into from very good matchups immediately, because I thought that they're going to swap out anyway. And kind of paid out a lot of times, but also the one game where I didn't pay out, was of course in there as well. We actually still gonna get the Altaria super low, and we see now a Marowak coming in. This is not ideal for me at all, because Marowak going to be annoying to deal with. I'm gonna go straight for the Brave Bird here to just get the shield from them, but at the end, I don't know if this was the right call. I'm going to let this move go through. It's going to be a Bone Club, which is still going to do a ton of damage, which is insane. We can still go for another charge move though, and this has to get the shield from the opponent, which is very nice, as we can now go into our bombers now. We can shield all the moves, and I expect them to swap out pretty soon-ish. But if we hit the energy ball here, we will be able to win this final game, and as they swapped out on the wrong timing, this will knock out the opponent and win us the game. This team was a lot of fun to play, was very fast to play, and was also pretty successful, so if you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!